Zuri and her mother, Mama Amani, lived in a modest home on the outskirts of town. Their small house was humble but spotless, a testament to Mama Amani's unwavering dedication. Life was not easy, but their bond, deeply rooted in love and resilience, kept them strong. As a widow, Mama Amani worked tirelessly as a cleaner at the prestigious Rafiki Academy, a private school known for its elite and privileged students. Rafiki Academy was a world of stark contrasts. The children of business tycoons, politicians, and celebrities strutted through the grand hallways clad in designer clothes, flaunting the latest gadgets. Meanwhile, Mama Amani quietly scrubbed floors and polished classrooms, ensuring the environment was pristine for its affluent students. Despite the disparity, she took pride in her work, often reminding Zuri, "There is dignity in hard work, no matter how small it seems." Zuri's dreams and struggles. Zuri, her mother's pride and joy, was a bright and ambitious girl. She excelled in academics and was known for her sharp mind and determination. Her dream was to become a lawyer, to fight for people like her mother, whose struggles often went unnoticed. Zuri carried herself with quiet confidence, earning the admiration of her teachers. However, at Rafiki Academy, she often felt like an outsider. The stark divide between her reality and that of her classmates was painfully evident. The school's most privileged students, Jabari, Kofi, and Omari, embodied the entitlement Zuri despised. Handsome, arrogant, and accustomed to getting their way, they enjoyed mocking those they deemed beneath them. Zuri, the cleaner's daughter, was a frequent target. "You're just the janitor's kid," Jabari sneered one day, blocking her path in the hallway. "Why even bother coming here? Shouldn't you be helping your mom scrub toilets?" Kofi and Omari laughed, their voices echoing down the hall. Zuri clenched her fists but said nothing. She had learned to endure their insults, drawing strength from her mother's words. Still their taunts stung. She channeled her pain into her studies, staying up late into the night, determined to prove her worth. Mama Amani, exhausted from long hours of work, would often sit beside her, running a tired hand through Zuri's hair. "One day, Zuri," she whispered, "they will see the power of a cleaner's daughter." That promise became Zuri's beacon of hope. The night that changed everything. Rafiki Academy's annual function was the grand event of the year, a dazzling showcase of student talent and achievements attended by parents, faculty, and influential figures. This year, Zuri had topped her class and was chosen to deliver a speech on perseverance and gratitude. It was a moment of immense pride for her and her mother. The day of the function arrived, and the school auditorium was transformed into a glittering venue. Parents in elegant attire mingled as students prepared backstage. Zuri wore a simple dress that her mother had saved for months to buy. It wasn't as lavish as her classmates' designer outfits, but it reflected her sincerity and grace. Mama Amani, having just finished her shift, sat in the back, still in her cleaner's uniform but beaming with pride. Zuri took a deep breath, clutching her speech as she stepped onto the stage. The spotlight illuminated her as she spoke with calm confidence, thanking her teachers and her mother for their unwavering support. She spoke of perseverance, of turning challenges into opportunities, and of the strength found in gratitude. Her words captivated many in the audience. But not everyone was impressed. In the back row, Jabari, Kofi, and Omari exchanged smirks. Still smarting from Zuri's resilience, they had devised a cruel plan. As Zuri reached the most heartfelt part of her speech, the giant screen behind her flickered to life. A video played. Mama Amani scrubbing toilets and sweeping floors with a caption, "Cleaner by day, mother by night." Meet Zuri's role model. The auditorium erupted into laughter. Zuri froze mid-sentence, her face draining of color. She turned to see her mother, her rock, being mocked so callously. Mama Amani gasped, tears streaming down her face. The humiliation was unbearable. But Zuri did not crumble. She clenched the microphone tightly and, with a steady but emotional voice, declared, "That's my mother. She works harder in one day than most of you will in a lifetime." The laughter died down. She scrubs floors and cleans toilets with dignity because she knows what it means to earn an honest living. That's something none of you who hide behind your parents' money will ever understand. A stunned silence fell over the auditorium. Slowly, applause began to spread. Some parents nodded in approval, their expressions shifting from amusement to admiration. Even some students, previously sneering, now looked ashamed. Jabari, Kofi, and Omari, however, sat fuming. Their plan had backfired spectacularly. As Zuri walked off the stage, a storm of resentment brewed in their minds. "She's going to regret this," Jabari hissed. The ultimate betrayal. A few days later, as Zuri walked home late after finishing an assignment, a car engine roared behind her. She turned, her heart sinking as she saw Jabari's car creeping alongside her. "Need a ride?" Jabari called mockingly. Zuri ignored him and quickened her pace. Suddenly, the car sped ahead, blocking her path. The boys got out, their expressions dark and menacing. "You embarrassed us, Zuri. Do you really think we'd let you get away with that?" Kofi sneered. Before she could react, Omari grabbed her arm, dragging her into the car. Zuri struggled, shouting for help, but the streets were deserted. Fear clawed at her chest as they sped off to an abandoned building on the outskirts of town. What followed was a nightmare. Zuri was left broken, in body and spirit. The boys laughed as they drove away, leaving her shattered. Hours later, she found the strength to stumble home. Mama Amani opened the door and gasped in horror at the sight of her daughter. "Zuri," she cried, pulling her into her arms. Zuri collapsed, sobbing uncontrollably. At the hospital, Mama Amani sat beside her, clutching her hand. When Zuri finally recounted the horrific ordeal, Mama Amani's sorrow turned to rage. "We will not stay silent," she vowed. But justice was a fleeting dream. When they went to the police, the officers' expressions changed upon hearing the names of Jabari, Kofi, and Omari. Their powerful families had already intervened. The case was dismissed before it even began. Zuri was devastated. The whispers and judgment from the town only deepened her wounds. Broken and betrayed, she withdrew, but her mother refused to let her give up. "You have the power to fight back," Mama Amani told her. "Not with hate, but with justice." With her mother's blessing, Zuri left for a new city, determined to rebuild herself. She worked tirelessly, earned a scholarship to law school, and studied investigative techniques. She became an expert in uncovering corruption. Over the years, she compiled damning evidence against Jabari, Kofi, and Omari's families. Years later, Zuri returned home, now a formidable lawyer. She exposed their family's fraudulent dealings, leading to their downfall. The once untouchable trio was arrested, and Zuri finally stood in court victorious. As Zuri walked out of the courtroom, head held high, she whispered, "We did it, Mama." Justice had prevailed.